Useful things to make in the workshop: pipe adapters and simple drilling jigs. This is a compilation video from a few years ago, before I refitted the Smart & Brown lathe in the space that you can see here. I needed to extend the piping capability on my test boiler. I'm going to show the making of some adapters. As you can see, there are 3 different tap sizes on the turret on my test boiler. And now, by using these union adapters, I can extend the possibilities of connecting from the turret to many different types of steam engine, as well as being able to connect to more than one steam engine at the same time. And the good news is, these special union adapters are now available from Blackgates Engineering. The Blackgates web address is on screen at the moment. For me, they are an essential part of any model engineer's workshop. I've used them frequently for many years. In this clip, I'm showing the adapters fitted to the steam taps. On the right hand side is a 1/4 inch to 3/16 of an inch adapter. The middle tap is fitted with a 3/16 to 532 or 4mm pipe adapter. The small tap on the left is currently fitted with a 1/8 of an inch pipe adapter. In this video, I'm going to make some pipe adapters which will allow me even greater flexibility for different pipe sizes when using the boiler. This one, for instance, is going to be a 1/4x40 to 5/16 by 32 adapter. And here in the foreground of the image is a 3/8 by 32 to a 5/16 by 32 pipe adapter. Time now to silver solder them together. I'm in the outer part of the workshop and the silver soldering process begins. I've applied the Easy Flow No. 2 flux and I'm using Silver Flow 55 silver solder, and here I'm doing it very wrong. Oh no, the silver solder's running everywhere. What a terrible job. But never mind, I'll carry on regardless. The usual process is to heat the parts until they turn red and the flux takes on a watery appearance. Not too bright red though, otherwise the pipe union adapter will melt. So what am I going to do about the one on the top left? Simple, I just cut off the pipe union on the bandsaw, then I lightly cleaned up the end of the pipe using my 1-inch belt sander, reapplied the Easy Flow No. 2 flux, and silver soldered it properly. Normally at this stage I would put the pipes into my acid bath, but for the purposes of the video I'm cleaning the piping manually this time. First of all using Scotch-Brite, and then I cleaned them up on my polishing spindle. And now the pipe adapters look like this. And in the next clip I'll be showing you the options when fitting them to the steam turret taps. The first option is 3/8 by 32 to 5/16 by 32. But I could turn this adapter round and fit it to the centre tap, then it would be 5/16 by 32 to 3/8 by 32. The problem is that the pipe from the steam engine would have union nuts on both ends. The solution is simple. Just fit a double union adapter to the size of nut that you're using. These double union adapters are also available from Blackgates Engineering. The reason for making these adapters is simple. It will allow me to run more than one steam engine from my Stuart 504 boiler that I use as a test boiler in the workshop. The second piece of pipe can either be used this way round, with a double union for 5/16 by 32 on the end, or it can be fitted to the smaller tap the other way round. In the size of models that I work with, the most common steam union is 5/16 by 32, which are normally used for 3/16 of an inch diameter pipe. With this system, I can now run 3 steam engines that use 3/16 of an inch diameter pipe from the turret. The centre tap has a thread of 5/16 by 32 on it. I don't need an adapter for that. In this clip, I'm fitting the 5/16 by 32 to 1/4 adapter to the small 1/4x40 steam tap. All I need to do now to complete the trio of pipe unions is fit a double 5/16 by 32 union on the end of the adapter pipe. As the centre valve has a 5/16 by 32 thread on it anyway, it doesn't need an adapter. I need to make another adapter to fit this. This is the check valve on the boiler, which is a big one. At the moment it's fitted with a blanking nut to prevent it from dribbling while steam is being raised. I need to make one more pipe adapter and bend it at 90 degrees, so I can fit a second 5/16 by 32 union nut with the corresponding 3/16 cone to the check valve. This is ideal for connecting my large brass steam pump to this boiler. Whenever I fit double units, I have a really bad habit of not tightening them up. I don't find out that they're leaking until they're connected up as part of a steam line and the tap is opened. Most of the steam engines that I work on are normally fitted with either mechanical lubricators or displacement lubricators. For my test boiler, it might be a good idea to fit a displacement lubricator to the turret somehow. This is one from Microcosm. I don't like it really. It's a displacement lubricator with a glass body, and it looks more like a piece of medical equipment than a steam fitting. However, as you can see in this clip, it fits perfectly onto the 1/4 threads per inch union, which in turn connects to the centre steam tap, which is 5/16 by 32. So this at least will allow me to run a steam engine using this boiler with the displacement lubricator fitted in the steam line. This is just one of the range of lamps that my friend makes, and they're all fitted with a lampshade. And each lampshade needs a hole in it big enough to take the light fitting. And for this he uses a punch, but first of all he needs to make a pilot hole exactly in the centre of the lampshade. I tried freehand drilling one with a 10mm drill bit and it looked really messy. And also it marked the paint, which is not a good idea on a new item. Going straight in with a 10mm drill was really bad. It really chewed up the metal. I've hammered it out a little bit, but as you can see, the hole is far from neat. So what I need to do is make drilling jigs for each of these components which won't mark the paint and allow a 1/4 inch diameter hole to be drilled accurately in the centre of the lampshade. And I'm going to make these drilling jigs out of a piece of mahogany. I was going to make them out of metal, but no, that would mark the paint. So making these drilling jigs out of a piece of thick mahogany seemed like a good idea. This marking out does not need to be very accurate as long as I have a shape to cut to on the bandsaw. Then just for a change, I'm drawing round another lampshade base. All I have to do now is draw around the base of the very small one. And now it's time to cut on the lines using my small bandsaw. This bandsaw is great. It's a Burgess bandsaw. It's really old and it does everything that I throw at it. I've speeded up the clip just to save time on the video. All I have to do is carefully cut around the lines so I end up with 4 circular blocks of mahogany. A quick health and safety warning. As you can see, this blade is quite sharp as it's cutting very thick mahogany. And always concentrate on what you're doing. If you get bored with it, go away and do something else. And that way you will survive the operation and end up with 4 nice neatly cut round pieces of mahogany and a full complement of fingers. The problem is, of course, that these pieces of mahogany do not fit in the recess at the bottom of the lampshade, because the line was drawn around the outside of the lampshade. I could have used a pair of calipers, measured the inside, transferred this to a compass, and then marked out a very accurate line, followed by very carefully cutting them out on the bandsaw, but no, I prefer this method. All I'm doing here is finding the centre of these pieces of mahogany by using a ruler. Just by taking several measurements across the piece of wood, I can make a mark in the centre of the piece of wood that's fine for what I need it to be. The next thing to do is to drill a 1/4 inch diameter hole on the centre marks of each of the pieces of wood. This will allow me to put a bolt through the middle of the pieces of wood and mount them in the lathe chuck. This is the last one being drilled, and now it's over to my small Boxford lathe. I'm using a 1/4 inch diameter Allen caphead bolt. The Allen caphead is clamped in the chuck, and on the other end, first of all a washer goes on, followed by a nut. But I need to do more than this, because if I start turning this piece of wood, it's going to jump out of the chuck. I'm going to centre drill the end. As you can see, the mahogany and the washer is not very accurate, but the centre part of the bolt is accurate enough for what I'm doing. I need to drill quite a deep centre, and after I've done this, I'm going to use a live centre in the tailstock to support the outer edge of the bolt. Here's the live centre going into position, so all I need to do now is rotate the work and use a lathe tool to cut it to the right size. I do need to know what the finished diameter of the mahogany needs to be, and for this I'm using a set of calipers. And then it's time to do some mahogany turning. Mahogany turns very well with a very sharp lathe tool. You do need to make sure the tool is sharp though. Checking frequently with the set of calipers is a good idea because I don't want to make it too small, otherwise it's back to the drawing board. That's one done. Here's a shot of the Allen bolt in the chuck. Then I fitted the next mahogany blank and did the same with that. As you can see here, I finished off the outer edge using a piece of emery cloth. I used a file to file the edges of the wood just to make it smooth. And now to test the principle. My friend uses a pillar drill, I'm using a small hand drill, and I'm doing it very slowly on purpose, just for the video. There's plenty of wood to get hold of to hold it securely in position, and in no time at all, hole number 1 is drilled. I repeated the process for one of the larger of the lampshades, and once again, it's very comfortable to hold these formers in position. Obviously, over time the centre hole is going to wear because it's only wood. I explained to my friend that all I needed to do then was bring the parts back to me, I would put them in the chuck, drill out the hole in the centre and fit a metal bush. And then, once the metal bush is worn, I can tap that out and fit another one. And I could go on forever doing that, so these are really everlasting drilling jigs for plant pots to make lampshades with. So I think he's going to be happy with these. They certainly do the job. Our simple and effective drilling jigs. That's it for now. Stay safe, stay healthy. Thanks for watching, and I hope you found it useful. Please take the time to visit my Mainsteam Models website and click on the section of the website that says Video Playlists. And by doing that, you can find other videos that you may like to watch. And by using the playlists, you can actually watch the videos back to back.